What is up, DTube Steam blockchain? So today I want to talk a little bit about so basically Hex, it reached a third of to 1 cent. So it reached an all-time high of a little bit above 0.003. So that means if it would go 3x from that, it would be 1 cent. So a couple of months ago, I posted a tweet where I said, already then the performance was very, very interesting. So the price was 0.004, I think. And I said something along the lines of if Hex goes up to 0.001, then I would be quite happy with a bit with that performance on this year. So if it would be 10x away from 1 cent, then I would say, wow, it has that performance. It already has performed enough for this year, and now already it has outperformed that. And it almost has outperformed that by 3x, which is pretty insane. So it's really interesting, right? So because so all-time low was in January the 5th, 2020. Now only 4 months later, we're not even in May yet, and it already is only a 3x away from 1 cent, which I gotta say is pretty interesting. So I think I talked about it also a little bit in the past that when I ran the math, how much one hex should be worth, it should be around 20 cents or 25 cents. And that math is basically used by looking at it in a relative network, how many tokens, and you compare it against the Bitcoin, and so it has 21 million and whatever. You look at what that one is worth, and you look at if you had the same kind of market cap in if you had the same kind of market cap in Hex, yeah, it would be around 20 to 25 cents. And then you see that, well, it actually is kind of better designed here because you can print your own trustless interest. So it has it seems to have a better design than Bitcoin, and also that you don't have this mining thing that they have to spend, or that they have this people that are selling for electricity to pay for electricity for their miners, so that you don't have that aspect. Well, it seems to be working pretty fine, and it's like I did a video talking a little bit about, will Hex pass Dogecoin later, maybe already late May or something like that, and then it already did it now. And also, yeah, like a week ago, the market cap was like $78 million. Now it's almost like, or it's around $350 million to around $400 million. So it kind of went up like 3 or 4x in market cap just in a week or two, which is pretty insane. This is what I'm talking about. Like, we're looking at stuff from linear terms, but this technology, computing power, and number games, they do not grow in linear ways. They grow in exponential ways. So I thought Hex would pass Doge late in like a month from now, and then it happens like almost like 2 days later or something like that. So it's really fascinating. So then you start to consider it. Okay, so if it already has this amazing performance, it seems like it's just gonna keep go exponential. Okay, and the price can do whatever. But it today all-time high, only a 3x away from 1 cent in April, 4 months since its all-time low. And a lot of that was because you had a big whale bought in with 10,000 Ethereum, and it was like a Genesis, connected to a Genesis Ethereum account. So that was pretty cool to see, and that was around, I think, maybe $1.7 million. And then there's a bunch of other people that has bought a lot of Hex tokens on Uniswap. And I think that also the liquidity of Hex tokens on Uniswap is going down to around 2 billion or something like that, I heard, which means seems like it's going to be pretty scarce on that place. And it seems like this market maker that Uniswap is using, it seems to be performing pretty well. So for me, it's so hard to even see where this is in 1 month from now. Because if you look at the stats, so it has at the moment gone up around 50x or like 48x or sometimes 53x against Bitcoin in 4 months. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So it was traded below one Satoshi, and now it's around 40 Satoshis. I mean, that's pretty whack, right? 50x in 4 months against Bitcoin. But I mean, it's designed well, and it seems like the design performs as it should. And there's a lot of Bitcoin maximalists that are kind of upset now because they're saying, well, this should probably fail, but I don't understand logically how it can fail, because it's like people are staked for many, many years. So they're kind of like savers already. And if they end their stake, they're going to pay a lot of penalties. So they probably won't do that. So it's really fascinating, right? It's been a trip. Like this last week, been a trip in Hex. I could never imagine that it would go this quick. Uh, Only 3x away from 1 cent. I mean, that's just insane, right? And this is just the year one. Okay, I mean, this is like, and I don't understand how it can like fail. I mean, it can fail, of course. Anything can happen, like math, whatever can happen, price, whatever can happen. But I don't understand how. It's like, would it be that, like, we know already that probably majority won't like end their stakes because it's just like stupid. Like, why would they do it when something is going up like crazy? And sure, there are a few billion hex that are in circulation that someone can dump quick, but we see also that people have staked like I don't remember. So there was one big whale, 1.7 million, I think it was, or maybe it was 170,000. I mean, it's so hard to. These numbers are so huge, right? So I think there was a couple of whales that kind of bought in, and then I think I saw one with like 400k USD that kind of bought in pretty quick. And I think that account also kind of staked a long, long time. And it's like you see these accounts staking a very, very long time, and I don't see how it can just like magically fail then, because those guys are gonna be in it for a long time. And if they already bought for a very high price, and they have more money, like if you look in their wallets, so even if the price would go down, it seems like they probably would level out their bags and buy even more. So it's like really interesting when you have these very super big whales coming into Hex, and when they're starting to playing around with it, just as they've been playing around with Bitcoin for years and Ethereum for years, it's not like they're gonna stop, right? Especially when there's potential for profits, they probably enjoy it, to buy it and sell it and like play around with it, because playing around with this smart contract is quite fun, to be honest, and it's quite fun to follow. The community is great, the memes are great, the entertainment is amazing, and like seeing the rest of the crypto industry at the same time, seeing their ignorance, seeing how they like try to ignore it, seeing how Bitcoin maximalists try to keep up that image, and then that we have the halvening in like a month, and then that this crazy stuff happened now. I mean, Bitcoin has barely gone up, right? And this one still go like 50x. What happens if Bitcoin also goes up and Ethereum also goes up? Because Hex has gained massively against Ethereum also. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, to be honest. So yeah, all-time high today. Now it went down a little bit. It's around 0.0026 0.0026. Yeah, it went down a little bit, like 20% or something like that, or maybe even 30% or something like that. But yeah, it's still up insane. Even last week, I mean, it's just insanely up high, 3 or 4x. I mean, it's just insane. So yeah, return on investment in USD 46x, return on investment in BTC 48.79x, return on investment in ETH 34x, almost 35x. It's crazy, man. And it's only day 142, and it's like we're around, I think, around 50% into this launch phase. And yeah, this is only the launch phase. Oh my god, ETH in lobby. So the ETH in the lobby today, it's 10,517 ETH. Wow, that is insane. And the price, the price in the AA. Now you should remember that in AA you have that 30% extra because you have the 30% extra because you have the referral bonus, and if people use that link. So, but the hex price there in the adoption amplifier is 0.0037. I mean, that is so close to 1 cent. I mean, it's below 3x. That is crazy, man. It's like 2.7x maybe, 2.5x or something like that until it is, or it's probably 2.7x until it goes 1 cent. And I mean, 1 cent in many ways is very symbolic. Like if it actually reaches 1 cent, I mean, who knows what it can do after that? But it doesn't sound realistic that something just pumps to 1 cent and then it just goes down. Like everyone goes home, everyone is bored. I mean, it seems like this is just getting started. It seems like the party is just getting started. It seems like the party is just getting started. Uh, so locked hex 26% at the moment. It almost 27%. So it went up around almost around, I think, 2% since like a week ago. So more people are staking. Yeah, it's quite interesting. So quickly a video talking a little bit about that. I'm just amazed by the performance. I mean, clearly this is the most interesting and engaging thing to kind of follow now in crypto for 2020. And yeah, so okay, so that's kind of cool, man. 209 days left of this launch phase. So much entertainment. Like, yeah. So that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. Hopefully enjoyed. Have a great day, DTube and Steam Blockchain. Bye bye.